Today I'm bringing you 20 old-fashioned frugal living hacks that I think we should re-implement. I think we can save a ton of money. If you want to save $5,000 here in 2025, it's only $13.70 a day. And by using these old-fashioned frugal hacks, you can get there lickety-split. In fact, you might even be able to do it twice and save $10,000 this year. And the first thing that you can do is subscribe to the channel and like the video, because I have so many money saving and frugal videos, budget cooking as well, and you won't spend a dime to subscribe. It also doesn't expire. Let's kick it off with some household items. How about hanging clothes up to dry? My grandmother had this huge clothes drying rack outside. Now, I don't love to hang clothes up outside, especially when it's 5 degrees, but I have a drying rack and a stair railing at my house that I utilize a lot. Saves on electricity, and it also makes your clothes last a whole lot longer. Every time we need to do some kind of DIY project, it costs a ton of money if you're gonna go out and buy the tools to do the job. So once we were working on one of the cars and we needed an impact wrench. We don't have an impact wrench, but we have 3 neighbors who like to tinker with cars, like mechanic style, and they have them. Hey, can I borrow your impact wrench? And they say, fine.
Never to be seen again.
And then you've saved all this money as long as you use it wisely and return it in excellent condition. Before you go out and buy an impact wrench or a bandsaw, see who in your neighborhood or community has one that you can borrow. And speaking of borrowing tools, what about DIY home projects? Now listen, it takes a special kind of couple to do DIY projects together, but what I can tell you is you can save a ton of money. The amount of money that we have saved by replacing a water line in a fridge instead of buying an entire new fridge, replacing the thermocouple on the gas water heater instead of buying a new gas water heater, saves thousands of dollars over the long run. My only warning is when it comes to garage door springs, death is on the line. Please hire a professional. Which leads very well into repair instead of replace. Now I'm talking about appliances and things like that, but also can be a suit coat, clothes, pair of shoes. Have you had the sole come off of a pair of shoes? You can glue it back on. Your cast iron skillet get all rusty, you can strip it down and re-season it and it'll be fine. You don't have to throw these things away, you can repair them. Something that happened in my grandparents' generation and kind of in my parents' generation, I don't think we do this anymore. They would buy high quality pieces and keep them forever. My grandmother never replaced her parlor couch. She never replaced her kitchen table. She bought a high quality solid wood table and kept it her entire life. So these things that you use all of the time that you want to last 10, 20, 30 years, you invest in. Something like a mattress, so you can get excellent quality sleep, would be included in that. And guess what? Helix is sponsoring today's video. Don't know about Helix Sleep yet? What? Have you been sleeping under a rock? Let me tell you about them real quick. Helix is running an awesome sale right now, so it's kind of the perfect time to upgrade your mattress and then keep it for a really long time. Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses and bedding customized to fit your needs and conveniently shipped right to your door. So you can go online to their website. They have a quiz, an online quiz that you can type out, fill out, tell them what kind of sleeper you are. On your back, on your side, you sleep alone, with a partner, and they will recommend a mattress to you. And then it comes shipped literally to your house, rolled up in a box that you can bring inside and utilize that night. No waiting around or anything. We were matched with the Elite Moonlight mattress. This is the one that we have right here, but we have Helixes all throughout the entire house. All of my kids have the Sunset Luxe. It is the softest mattress they make. But if you don't like soft, they have a wide range of firmness levels. And sometimes it can be scary buying something this enormous online. You know, you don't get to test it out. Wait, you do get to test it out. They have a 100-night sleep trial, and if you don't like it for any reason, they will make it right. There's a 10-year warranty and payment plans and financing options. Check it out. So I recently went out of town and I slept horribly. I feel like I woke up every 30 minutes, and then when I came home, I slept on this puppy and I slept awesome. I swear I didn't even dream. I didn't move. And because retail is for suckers, I am sharing with you a great sale on a Helix mattress. for President's Day, they are offering 27% off your Helix mattress. This is an exclusive partner offer, 27% off. Go to helixsleep.com/frugalfitmom to take advantage of that deal. It is the first link down in the doobly-doo below. I love my Helix sleep mattress, and I think you will too if you pick one up. Limited time only President's Day sale, 27% off. First link down in the blue below. Thank you to Helix. Let's get back to the rest of the video. When I was a kid, we sat down as a family with a whiteboard, and my dad would write on the whiteboard what he made every month and all of our bills. The first time I remember doing this, I was about 12 or 13 years old, and I was shocked at how much of our money went away before it paid for my things like sports or candy, which I didn't get very often, or clothes, which I also didn't get very often.
You know what this is? It's the world's smallest violin.
And the reason my parents did that is to teach us kids that the money that they make when they go to work is used for things like electricity and food and the cars that drove us to school and retirement savings, etc., etc. We got to learn how the money worked. So we would have these family budget meetings. This is how much we have left at the end of the month. Do we want to spend it on extracurriculars for the kids, i.e. sports? My sister played soccer. I was a competitive swimmer. My brother played lacrosse, and then my youngest sister basically did everything. Once we saw all the money go away, we realized that it was important that we didn't go out for fast food so we could do the other things that we wanted. Money is finite, so is time. And it was a good lesson for me to learn as a kid. So do you have family budget meetings? Even just a meeting with your spouse or partner about how you're going to spend your money. And then here's something I definitely haven't seen in a while is the good old cash envelope. You could also use jars for this. This works very, very well for people with impulse spending. So you take your cash and you divvy it up. Let's say I want $25 for groceries this week. This is the grocery envelope. My $25 goes into my grocery envelope, and then once my $25 is gone, guess what? I don't get to buy groceries anymore. And you would do the same with other things. Let's make a gas for the car one, right? It costs $30 to fill up the car with gas, and I'm only going to fill it up once this week. And if I run out, guess what? I'm not going anywhere anymore. And let's say mama needs a new pair of shoes, so I'm gonna give myself $30. Well, that's not gonna buy me much. So maybe I'm not gonna spend it at all, and I'm gonna save it and add to it next week. So this is a little harder to do today because of all the online shopping, and some stores actually don't take cash anymore. But if you have issues staying with a budget or swiping a card or impulse buying, this can be a very effective tool if you wanna really make a change in your spending. And speaking of running out of gas money and not filling up your car going anywhere anymore, you could just bike or walk or hitch a ride with someone. My husband has been riding his bike to work for 10 years. 10! And I have another friend that decided she didn't want to just run to the grocery store all the time, so if she wanted something from the grocery store, she would walk. It's about a 20-minute walk one way, which is completely doable. And if you only need to go because you ran out of garlic, you would think twice about running to the grocery store to pick up a 75-cent piece of garlic and maybe just going without for a few days. In 2006, when I was expecting my third child, I got this amazing garbage bag full of hand-me-downs. They were maternity clothes and baby clothes, a new stroller, blankets, and it was such a blessing in my life to have all of these hand-me-downs that I could use because you don't need maternity clothes for that long. And then when babies are newborns, they don't need the teeny weeny eensy weensy clothes for that long because they grow so fast at the beginning. And my friends, I am saying, can we please bring back the hand-me-downs? Where are the boxes and boxes and tubs of hand-me-down maternity clothes, baby clothes from your friends, your neighbors, your in-laws? Are people still doing this? I really, really hope so. You know, maybe if you don't have access to that, I really love thrifting as a concept. If you have good thrift stores and if they have high quality items. I actually don't live in an area that has a great thrift store, but when I travel, I do like to check out a thrift store and see what's going on. You can get some pretty good clothes and shoes. And you know what I always see at the thrift store? A George Foreman grill, an Instant Pot, an Easy Bake Oven, and a bread maker. And what's cool about my place is they have outlets so you can plug all of these in and see if they work. Growing up, I would say the holidays in my house were fairly simple. We didn't have a ton of decorations. Obviously, we had a Christmas tree and we had some Easter baskets, but that was really it. With social media, it feels like you have to go big or better to keep up with these gorgeous holiday curators online. You don't. It can be just a tree. You don't have to put up Halloween decorations. You don't need a wreath for Valentine's Day. I mean, you can if you want. I'm not telling you not to do it if you want to do it, but you don't have to do it. And if you want to do it on a budget, the thrift store is your friend. And even Dollar Tree has a few okay items, but my biggest issue is that you have to store everything. And I am just not in the stage of life where I want to store anything. This last year for Christmas, after my tree had been up for about a month, the clutterness of it kind of drove me nuts. And we took our tree down on December 27th and it was gone and I felt so much better. Going along with simple holidays, let's also talk about frugal entertainment. You do not have to spend money to have a good time. Yes, going to the movies is fun and going bowling can be fun. Or is it? It almost feels like bowling is the last decision you make after you've thought of everything else you could do and you have nothing. I'm not a very good bowler.
It's kind of intimidating to be in the presence of so many great athletes.
But what you're trying to do is spend time with people and have a good time, which can be done with games, with hikes, picnics, walks outside. I've many times gone to a lake where the entrance fee is $5 and you hang out at the lake for a few hours. It's my kids' favorite and it is not expensive. You can even check out your local community free events. I guarantee you have some. Your local library will definitely know what's going on in your town. The vocabulary word for the day is haggle.
Oh dear, oh dear. Come on, haggle.
Say it with me, friends. Retail is for suckers. Everything goes on sale. Everything can be negotiated. Your cell phone bill, your internet bill, your car insurance, your streaming services, your grocery bill, your electric bill, what you pay for clothes, what you pay for furniture, what you pay for a car. The price is not the price. It's always up for debate. And once you start approaching your purchases with that mindset, you'll start doing what I do and saying, oh, $1,000 for this couch?
Not up in here!
I'm gonna wait for the sale, I'm gonna talk to them, I'm gonna see if they'll throw in free delivery and see if we can stack everything on top of it together so I can get the best deal possible. I think teaching kids about money is kind of a lost art. I had this very eye-opening experience with my daughter when she was about 15. I gave her $100 for back to school shopping. And I was like, here's your budget. Let's see what we can get with it. And we went to all kinds of places. We went to the thrift store. We did Facebook Marketplace. We went to a family crisis center where they sell clothes donations to help the families in the community. We went to Target. We went to the mall. We went to Old Navy and we were trying to see like what we could pick up for the $100. And she loved the thrift stores. She was able to get so many great things that she loved at the thrift store. And we went to Target and she saw this Friends sweatshirt that she wanted really badly, but it was $39 plus tax. So it was gonna be almost $45 when it was all said and done. And she was like, that one sweatshirt is half my budget, like almost half my budget, when I could go over here, shop a little smarter, and my money goes further. You could see the numbers clickety-clacketing in her head and the calculator spinning. She learned a really valuable lesson that I don't think she ever forgot. It's a fun experiment to try and do that with your teenagers. Just give them the money. If they want to blow it all on one pair of Nikes, that's their choice, but they don't get anything else. Or they can shop a little smarter and end up with a whole lot more. Gardening and canning the foods that you garden. And one of my favorite ways to do that is canning tomatoes. Follow me for more canning and homesteading tips. Okay, so this isn't actually how you can tomatoes. I live in a pretty cold climate and it's difficult to grow some things here, especially in the quantity that you would want. But what I did notice is if you make friends with the people that are really good gardeners and don't need the food, they will give it away. And also something I've noticed where I live, nobody wants the plums off of their plum tree. Nobody. Do you know how easy it is to pick free plums, free sour cherries, free green beans, free zucchini, and you can can all of it. Canning truly is a lost art, but fortunately I learned how to do it from my grandma who gardened and canned for food, you know, just for their family. And speaking of canning and food, let's say you don't have a garden or whatever. You can shop seasonally, buy it at the cheapest price, and then preserve it at your house. Whether that's canning, freezing, dehydrating, it's all fine. That means buying produce when it's in season. Making food from scratch will always be cheaper than its pre-made counterpart, and that includes pre-cut fruit bowls, pre-cut vegetables, delivery food boxes, all of it. Making it yourself will save you money over its pre-prepared partner. I did recently a lasagna comparison, and I spent slightly more on my homemade lasagna, but I ended up with 30% more lasagna that tasted better than my store-bought lasagna. While we're in the kitchen talking about food, how much food do you throw out? Are you constantly rebuying and then throwing away that package of fresh spinach because you think you're gonna put it in your smoothies, and then you realize you don't really like smoothies that much, eggs are more your jive, and you keep tossing green slime in the garbaggio? Just me? So take an inventory of what you're throwing away every week. Let's either preserve it by freezing, use it in something like just make a big pot of chili and just like throw everything that's gonna go bad in the fridge into your chili, boom, dinner. Chili is the best fridge clean out meal. Also, did I mention this before? You can freeze almost anything. Almost anything you can pop in the freezer and pull it out later if you're not gonna get to it that week. Time to talk about the big kahuna, my favorite, extreme couponing. No, just kidding. Not extreme couponing. TLC did away with that. But the most important one these days is digital coupons. If you have a Kroger store in your area and you are not clipping the digital coupons, you are leaving money on the table.
Your money, punk.
Oh my God, it was you!
It's really easy. You can do it right on your phone. You can do it on a laptop if you don't want to do it on a phone. Don't have a laptop, you can do it on your phone. You can even go to customer service and they'll show you how to do it, and it saves so much money. You're like, it's gonna blow your mind. What's your favorite tip that you are going to utilize to try and save $13, $14 a day, which will equal $5,000 in 1 year if you stick to it? I would just like to thank my grandmother for being the inspiration for this video. She was frugal in all kinds of ways, my friend. I know she's up there looking down on me with a smile on her face. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Anyone who knows me well would say that I'm a fan of movies and TV. There's certain movies that I don't love. I don't love slasher movies. I don't love like super violence. Kind of a weak stomach. I'm a little bit of a baby. One of the movies I haven't seen recently because it didn't feel like it would be my kind of movie is Dune. Either one. Dune Part 1, Dune Part 2, the old one, the new one, any of them. Never seen any of them, don't know anything about them. So my mom is telling me that she loves Dune. She can't get enough of it. 1, 2, both fantastic. My husband and I were flipping through the old Netflix trying to find a movie to watch, and we noticed that Dune was on there. Dave's like, hey, let's give Dune a try. And I'm like, yeah, sure, sounds great. My mom loves it. 5 minutes in, maybe 10 minutes in, I look over at Dave and I'm like, do you know what's going on? And he's like, I'm a little lost. So we look up what's going on. We kind of go over the names, the basic plot for the first 10 minutes. We're like, okay, we kind of get it. So the movie continues, and every so often we have to keep pausing it and saying, okay, they're who? The names are, this guy was with this guy, the emperor is this guy or this guy? I text my mom and I'm like, so mom, we're watching Dune. It's so confusing. We've had to stop it a ton of times to look it up because we don't know what's going on. Her answer to that was, it would probably help to have someone with you the first time. Dune apparently needs an interpreter. It's not one of those movies that you can just watch and understand. You need an interpreter to figure out the movie. Since when is that a thing? That being said, I actually kind of liked it. They left it off on a cliffhanger, very excited to go watch part 2, but I'm keeping my phone handy to look up what in the world is going on. Dune, fan or no?